Story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Frank Omalape. In our major story, Nasarawa State Governor Tanko Almakura slams a duct to dawn curfew on Lafia following unseasoned violence in the state capital and its environs. Also in this program, federal government opts for another extension of emergency rule in Adamawa, Borno, and Yobe State. And Governor Ayodele Fayose tears Ekiti lawmakers apart as 7 PDP assembly members among 26 members House sit to confirm commissioners list. Outside Nigeria, United States President Barack Obama condemns killing of U.S. aid worker Abdurrahman Kasik as an act of fury. Thank you for joining us. The details now. Nasarawa State Governor Tanko Almakura on Monday evening declared a dusk to dawn curfew in Lafia following unseasoned violence in the state capital and its environs. The governor said this had become necessary to stop the spate of violence and killings in the state. This, according to him, was the outcome of an emergency meeting of the State Security Council held at the Government House, Lafia. Almakura added that the curfew would start at 6 p.m. and end at 6 a.m. President Goodluck Jonathan is to seek legislative backing for a further 6-month extension of emergency rule in the northeastern state of Adamawa, Borno, and Yobe State. This was after the National Defense Council approved the extension at a meeting attended by all security and defense chiefs, as well as Ministers of Defense and Interior, Attorney General of the Federation, and Minister of Justice Mohammed Adoke disclosed these after the meeting of the Council presided over by President Jonathan. If approved by the National Assembly, it will be the third term emergency rule in the 3 states will be extended since it was first declared in May 2013.
We just reviewed the issue of the state of emergency, and then the government will be requesting the National Assembly to extend the state of emergency.
How soon would that be in view that an arm of the National Assembly is currently on break?
It will go in immediately.
Few days after another bomb blast in his domain, Emir of Kano Mohammed Sanusi has called on the people to defend themselves against Boko Haram attacks. Sanusi, who had been more quiet as the act of the Central Bank Governor Kano residents at the weekend to consider acquiring what they need to protect themselves. The Emir made the comments at a prayer meeting few days after a suspected suicide bomber killed at least 5 people at a filling station. Sanusi maintained that people should not sit idle and say prayer is the solution. He added that residents should not wait for help from the military at a time some soldiers were said to have fled on sight in the insurgents. President Goodluck Jonathan has denied allegations of nepotism leveled against him over the controversial Gas Revolution Industrial Park at Ogidigbem in Warri. The park had been a subject of acrimony between the Ishakere and Ijaw communities, but the president insisted that the postponement of the groundbreaking ceremony has nothing to do with any anti-Ishakere agenda. A presidential spokesman Ruben Abati told State House correspondent that his principal had no partisan interest in the gas project.
The postponement of the groundbreaking ceremony for the project, earlier scheduled for last Friday, was not in furtherance of any anti-Ishekiri agenda. The clear need to give all concerned parties more time to achieve the communal peace, understanding, and harmony that will greatly facilitate the project's speedy actualization for the benefit of Ishekiris, Ijos, Urobos, Igbos, Isokos, and indeed all other Nigerians. In the greater interest of the nation, President Jonathan expects the respected elders and leaders of the concerned communities to heed the pleas of the federal and state government mediators and expeditiously resolve their differences for the good of all and the progress of the country. It looks forward to coming to perform the groundbreaking ceremony for the Gas Industrial Revolution Park very soon in conditions of communal peace, unity, and harmony.
Ekiti State is once again in the news for a disturbing reason. This time around, lawmakers belonging to the People's Democratic Party convey plenary amidst watertight security and behind closed door to confirm 3 commissioner nominees and approve 12 special advisors listed by the governor Ayodele Fauci. The APC, which has 19 out of the 26 members in the House of Assembly, is already crying blue murder and the development. A correspondent, Rashid, has the details.
The crisis rocking the State House of Assembly took a new twist as members belonging to the People's Democratic Party converged for plenary. The 7 PDP lawmakers met behind closed door amidst tight security while journalists were barred from covering the session. At the end of the session, 3 commissioner nominees were confirmed alongside the approval of 12 special advisors. The PDP lawmakers also gave the governor go-ahead to inaugurate caretaker officials for the 16 local government areas of the state. The APC in the state described the development as a rape on the constitution.
The governor has sent a letter to the House that has been read in our last sitting of 11th November, and the continuation of the program is what we have just done.
The battalion of soldiers and the security men, the police, the SSS, and the men of the civil defense that we saw at the House of Assembly today, it's like a coup d'etat. A coup has just taken place in Ekiti.
What should normally constitute a quorum in a 26-man legislative house also became a subject of heated argument between the PDP lawmakers and the APC.
7th member PDP House of Assembly sat. And if you can get us, let them come out boldly in the face of reality, in the face of sincerity. Let them show us the video coverage. That I will tell you, there are a lot of impersonation going on.
The quorum was solved. Actually, you can see even the Constitution explains very clearly that if the quorum is even 7 without any observation, you can go ahead, and that there wasn't any observation, and we met the prerequisite or the necessary.
The place of the Speaker and the House leadership is also bringing additional reports from the opposing sides.
We are very sure of the 19th APC House of Assembly member in the House of Assembly. We are very sure that the House has been adjourned till a later date. We are very sure that Mr. Speaker has not called any member of the House to resume a plenary session. And we are very sure the clerk of the House, who is the administrative officer of the House, had not in any way sent any message through Mr. Speaker to any member of the House. All the things that transpired in the House of Assembly today was planned, was orchestrated, was manipulated, was implemented, and was sponsored, adequately sponsored by the executive arm of government.
Mr. Speaker was absent, yes, because he went on a special assignment. The Deputy Speaker was absent because he too went on an electoral campaign. And the House Section 27 of the Standing Order empowers us to nominate Speaker Tempora to act on behalf of Mr. Speaker.
Again, Ekiti State is in the eyes of the storm as the end of the unfolding drama is surely not in sight. Rashid, TV News, Ado Ekiti.
The All Progressive Congress has raised the alarm over what it says police-backed acts of impunity in Ekiti State, where only 7 members of the 26-strong House of Assembly have convened to carry out an agenda including the impeachment of the Speaker. In a statement issued in Abuja on Monday by its National Publicity Secretary, Lai Mohammed, the party said over 200 armed policemen are currently offering protection to the 7 PDP members of the House who convened purposely to impeach the Speaker, approve the list of commissioners, designate as well as the caretaker committees for the local councils in the state. APC added that water and electricity supplies to the official residence of the Speaker of the House have been cut off while his salaries and allowances have been stopped. It also warned that any decision taken by only 7 PDP members in the 26-member Ekiti House of Assembly will not stand. Meanwhile, the disturbing development in Ekiti has also caught the attention of some public affairs analysts in Lagos. They, however, agree that the situation is unnecessary and injurious to the nation's democracy. A correspondent, Omotayo Alo, has more in this report.
Public affairs analyst Biodun Showumi says the display in Ekiti is simply an excessive use of executive power, which needs to be checked urgently.
We need to understand the trend of what is going on in the country currently. You know, we've been having this executive lawlessness whereby they either tamper with judiciary, as we've seen in Ekiti and also in Rivers, or also legislature as it happened under Gbenga Daniel in Ogun State, and what we are seeing, you know, with the executive trying to tamper with National Assembly, House of Reps, Speaker Aminu Tambuwal through the withdrawal of his aides, and also what is going on in Ekiti. So it's a sign of recklessness, and because people think they can do it and get away with it.
Blaming both sides of the divide, the Director General Center for Democratic Governance in Africa, Daffy Akocha, stressed that the people of Ekiti will be the ones to suffer if the governor and speaker don't call a truce.
The speaker at this time should harmonize a cordial working relationship with the governor. Let him come together, sit down with the governor so they can move the state forward rather than all this issue. Realize that his state, his party is no more in government. His party is no more ruling. He should realize that it's obtainable anywhere in the world. You must work with the government of the day so that the goodies, the benefits of what is accorded to the state can come to them.
Another public affairs analyst, Liboros Oshoma, described the development in Ekiti as nothing new, especially against the political background of those involved in the crisis.
It is easier now for the speaker to say, well, maybe I'm in opposition, that is why it is happening to me, you know, but we must also insist that the right thing be done. And so Fayose should allow, you know, there are rules in the House. It should allow the rule of the House to prevail.
They, however, want politicians, irrespective of party leanings, not to toy with the nation's democracy and its peace, especially in the southwest. Omotayo Alo, CoreTV News, Lagos.
You're still watching CoreTV Primetime News. Complaints against mass voter registration exercise in Lagos. Find out more on these and other stories after this timeout. Stay with us.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Professor. My former students. Happy birthday.
Every day, life is made better by the moments of surprise we create for others and for ourselves. Be better. Surprise someone this season and make sure to text 11 to 400 to get a surprise from MTN.
MTN, everywhere you go.
You're still watching CoreTV Primetime News. Here is a quick reminder of some of our major headlines if you're just joining us. Nasarawa State Governor Tanko Almakora slams a dusk to dawn curfew on Lafia following unceasing violence in the state capital and its environs. Federal government opts for another extension of emergency rule in Adamawa, Borno, and Yobe states. Governor Ayodele Fashi tears Ekiti lawmakers apart as 7 PDP assembly members among 26 members House sit to confirm commissioner list. Thank you for joining us again. You can also join our social media platform on facebook.com/CoreTV News and our Twitter handle at CoreTV News NG. You can also log on to youtube.com/CoreTV. Leave a space, the news. If the experiences of Lagosians at the centers for the ongoing voter cast registration exercise are anything to go by, the 2-day extension granted by INEC is already going through some ASIC texts. A correspondent, Oluwaseyi Adegoke, reports that the exercise geared towards the 2015 general elections is laced with all manner of complaints and frustration on the part of would-be electorate. The report.
All is not well, and no one needs a soothsayer to say so, even after the Lagos INEC had assured groups of protesters who thronged its Yaba headquarters last week over the initial shoddy performance of the electoral body that it will use this extension to correct the noticeable lapses. A Lagos resident in the Idioro area of the state, whose experience typically speaks the entire story, laments the lack of equipment bedeviling the exercise.
Since Friday we started. The machine is not okay, but it's okay today. All the machine they brought for us is not good at all. We are the member of this month borrow them generator, petrol, everything what they need. What the federal government is supposed to give them, we are the one producing for them.
The experience is also the same at this center, where residents berate INEC for the slow process of the exercise and demand another round of extension.
In only 1 or 2 places that we can able to register ourselves, but other places are vacancies, nobody to register us, and we have been starting for more than 4 weeks ago now.
The process is dull, it's slow, and you can see the area, the street is very big. This is Idioro. So if they since Thursday, I myself have been trying to do this registration, but I can't because only one person. Thank you. Today there are 2, and you can see the population of people is too much. If you can have 3 or 4 centers and to help this one, it can make the process more faster.
These machines are not okay. It's either they are off, they will start queuing again, and they are not doing it very well. It's not too fast at all.
Even attempt by CoreTV News to see if the exercise is successful in other areas was greeted by the same complaints.
This exercise, as I see it, is worst. It's worst because the system is not all right at all in Lagos State. In my own local government here, people could have gone, but the system is not good. That is number one. The one we did in year 2011, instead to bring it for us, we don't see it. Look this one. Look how they print it. Is it fair? They just waste federal government money. Is that fair? They just wasted the federal government money.
The system is not good. Before they will register one person, we take them up to 30 minutes. It's not working, the system, the keyboard. We went to the other side to go and register keyboard for them before people can register. Even if they print it out, it's not working. Some we showed to 2007 on the voters card. So the system is not good at all.
For political observers, the extension appears to have run into a hitch, a development which they conclude has rubbished the promise by the INEC to tidy up all loose ends. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, CoreTV News, Lagos.
The resident electoral commissioner of Cross River State, Mike Igini, has allayed fears over disenfranchisement being entertained by many would-be electorate who are experiencing difficulties in the ongoing voter registration exercise in some parts of the country. He told Omotayoalo, who encountered him in Lagos, that no Nigerian will be denied of the right to vote at the coming 2015 general elections. Her reports.
Given the level of complaints by Lagosians on the shoddy process of the permanent voter cards distribution and the continuous voters exercise, the Rivers State Resident Electoral Commissioner says the fact that people did not find their names on the list does not mean they have been disenfranchised.
What happened is that at the level, most of the people you are talking about, you have not seen, they are at the level of the AFI stage, where at that stage, because we have agreed that for you to have a permanent voter's card, as we indicated in 2011, you must have your 10-finger captured. But we discovered that after running the office, a number of people, do not have complete 10. So we now have what we call a minimum of 2 fingers in each hand. So 2 in each hand is the required threshold. So if, for example, we can see Fola, all right, Fola had no picture, but we can see the name of Fola. And because what it requires is a photo ID, you will not be able to be given a printed, you will not be printed a permanent voter's card. You are certainly in that office. So we have people whose faces, you can see somebody name, no face. You can see somebody who has thumbprint, but he has no photograph. Or you have somebody who has a photograph, but he has 0 thumbprint. Meanwhile, the minimum is 2. These are the categories of people that we still have on the database. But you cannot produce a permanent voter's card for them. These are the people that are expected to represent themselves for re-registration when they shall have completed the process of CVR collection.
He also denied allegations that the INEC was working towards rigging the 2015 general elections through the PVC and CVR exercises.
Any other issue, of course, the offices are open for Lagosians or Nigerians, wherever you may be, because 2015, without the PVC, you cannot vote. And it is the right of all Nigerians, which would defend, stand tall and mighty in defense of that right anytime, any day. But a successful electoral process is not also without a few challenges. At our own level, we remain commitment, and our commitment is unwavering to get the best thing for Nigeria.
However, Igini's defense of his principle will be tested the more in Lagos and other states across the country, where the exercises have been riddled with numerous complaints. Omotayoalo, CoreTV News, Lagos.
The presidency is set to present pictorial evidence of the first-term achievements of President Goodluck Jonathan ahead of the 2015 presidential election. Special advisor to the president on social development, Sarah Payne, says the achievements will be presented to the public in an exhibition format. She says the event will highlight the major successes of the Jonathan administration with a view to clearing all doubts over his performance.
We find ourselves in a country where criticizing the government is a major industry, such that it is used as a basis to gauge the intellectual sagacity of social commentators. Such a mindset is being fueled fervently by the opponents of government. While it is more important for government to provide goods and services to its people, it is also important that the people are well informed about the activities of government to enable them express opinions that should influence further government action. The purpose of the exhibition, to be declared open by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria on Thursday, 18th December 2014, is to bring the milestone achievements of the last 4 years to a clear perspective to the nation and the international community, giving them the right not only to know, but to equip them to make their subsequent decisions and contributions to any national discourse based on knowledge.
Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has handed over the presidential nomination forms he picked up at the beginning of the month to the national leadership of the All Progressive Congress. His presidential aspirant, who was the first to collect the form, was accompanied by a number of APC functionaries to submit the two forms at the party secretariat in Abuja. Speaking at the brief event, the former vice president pledged to remain loyal to the party regardless of the outcome of the party primaries.
Thank you and the party for the opportunity given us, first of all, as the first to collect these forms. I also want to thank you for the opportunity again to be the first to return the forms. And let me assure you, Mr. Chairman, we will continue to be loyal and dedicated party members, no matter the outcome of this.
First to take your forms, first to return your forms. What one can say about that is that you have properly exemplified what the APC stands for today. Thoroughly organized, well organized, and seeking to be the first in everything. Putting this country first, putting first as its first priority the welfare of the people of this country. That is what your action today has exemplified for the nation generally.
Thank you, sir.
Meanwhile, the Adamawa State chapter of the All Progressive Congress has publicly thrown its weight behind former Vice President Atiku Abubakar for the race of the party's presidential ticket. Adamawa State APC Christian Binta Garba said at a news conference in Abuja that the decision was taken at a meeting of party executives and leaders on Sunday evening. She explained that the unanimous resolution to endorse the former vice president stems from his contribution to local and national economic growth.
We are proud of this man's outstanding leadership role which he has played in this country over the past 15 years of our democracy, both within and outside the government. He has shown as he has been shown as a bridge builder, stepping into during times of discord to mediate peace within and outside our great party, the APC, without antagonism or malice. He was consistently lent his voice to pressing national issues, offering counsel to the federal government at times when those at the top were clueless to the federal government, clueless about what step to take. Atiku Abubakar is a leader with a difference. Atiku Abubakar is a man of the people. Without the least meaning to diminish his national and global structure, it is on this record that Atiku as an individual has done more to develop Adamawa State than any indigene of that state that is living or dead. His university, the American University of Nigeria, has put our state and the whole country on the world map of quality education. Next to the state government, he ranks as the highest employer of labor through his many businesses and industrial establishments.
The Patriots, a movement in the People's Democratic Party, has endorsed the former Minister of State for Defense, Musiliu Obanikoro, as the party's choice for Lagos governorship election come 2015. A correspondent, Olajumoke Olatoji, was at the forum organized to educate aspirants on the need to support one another even after the party's primaries scheduled for 29th of November, 6th, 7th, and 8th of December. Her reports.
Ahead the 2015 general elections,
Political gladiators and parties have started strategizing on how to win the confidence of the electorate. Since the civilian dispensation began in 1999, the All Progressives Congress, from its transformation through the AD and ACN, has been at the arms of affairs in Lagos in the last 16 years. Thus, the PDP has begun to strategize on how to win the states from the All Progressives Congress come 2015. Following this development, the PDP Patriots in Lagos says the party needs a radical politician in order to achieve this. Thus, the group has endorsed Musiliu Obanikoro as the best man to do the job.
I, Alanja, Atinuke, Norat, Bas Olokemi, on behalf of the entire members of PDP Patriots in the 245 wards and 20 LGAs of Lagos State, hereby move a motion to adopt Senator Musiliu Ishola Olatunde Obanikoro, popularly known as Koro, for the 2015 general election.
The group added that it is only Obanikoro that could withstand the expected heat from the All Progressives Congress and give it all it takes.
We have all unanimously endorsed the candidature of Senator Ambassador Musiliu Olatunde Obanikoro.
We know him. He's an action man. And on the other side, which a lot of people are not thinking, you are going to be the lion, the craziest lion in our political history. So, who is the field commander to face him? Me. I can't hear you. The only person that can face this monster, you only know to remove hairs and shivers is what?
The group, which explains that Lagos is in need of a change, says it did not rule out the good qualities of all the governorship aspirants in the Lagos PDP and admonished them to back Obanikoro's candidacy. Olajumoke Olatunji, CoreTV News, Lagos.
Director General of the Progressive Governors Forum, Salihu Lukman, has submitted his governorship nomination form at the Kaduna State Secretariat of the All Progressive Congress. Speaking later to journalists, Lukman said he decided to join the race in order to bring his wealth of experience as an administrator and an activist to bear on governance. He is the younger brother of late former Petroleum Minister Rewan Lukman.
I'm aware. I'm very much aware. In fact, I was in a radio program where I was asked question of even the endorsement of Nasru by General Buhari. My response to all of that is basically, it's not going to distract me. We have visited, and you are in the business of information gathering. You can go to the local governments and find out. I mean, at this point, we must give those who have votes the opportunity to determine who they want.
You're still watching CoreTV Primetime News. We take another break and return with business, sports, and stories outside Nigeria. Stay with us.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Professor.
My former students.
Happy birthday
Life is made better by the moments of surprise we create for others and for ourselves. Be better. Surprise someone this season and make sure to text 11 to 400 to get a surprise from MTN. MTN, everywhere you go.
There is an Ebola virus epidemic in some West African countries. The Nigerian government wants you to be aware and watch out against the spread of Ebola in your community. Help keep our country safe and watch out for severe cases of fever, headaches, diarrhea, chest and abdominal pain, sore throat, cough, red eyes and bleeding from the eyes, ears and nose, especially when these symptoms are found in persons coming into Nigeria from other West African countries. Protect yourself. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water or use a hand sanitizer. Avoid contact with the blood, urine, feces or saliva of animals like bats, monkeys, gorillas, chimpanzees or infected persons. The Ebola virus is deadly. Don't catch it. Don't spread it. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
And in business tonight, Nigeria's gross domestic product figure for the third quarter of 2014 has been released by the National Bureau of Statistics, stating that the 6.23% third quarter growth rate is lower than the 6.54% recorded in second quarter of 2014. The report says the oil sector experienced production challenges. In the third quarter, there was a record of 2.15 million barrels per day, a decrease from 2.26 million barrels per day. The drop in crude oil was a decline in oil GDP by 3.6%, according to information in the third quarter of 2013. The sector contributed approximately 10.45% to real GDP in the third quarter of 2014, lower from the 10.76% contribution in the second quarter and 11.51% contribution recorded during the third quarter of 2013. For the non-oil sector, growth was driven by activities recorded in the crop production, textile, footwear, telecommunications, and real estate sectors. The sector recorded 7.51% growth, lower compared to 8.46% at the corresponding period in 2013, higher than 6.71% in the second quarter of 2014. The Minister of National Planning, Abubakar Sulaiman, on Monday reacted to the new fiscal measures announced by the federal government on Sunday following global drop in oil price. Sulaiman called for the strengthening of Nigeria's tax system and improve agriculture sector to make the country less dependent on oil. He said the exportation of some agriculture produce were required to complement whatever would be acquiring to the nation from oil sales. There are other avenues and other sources of income that needs to be looked into, like the Nigerian Customs Service and policy framework will be required, according to him. He says the issue of corruption needs to be looked into. He called on Nigerians not to panic over the drop in oil prices, saying the budget was planned in a way that it could withstand the shocks. Over 50 billion naira has been spent to construct over 2,000 kilometers of road network across the state in the last 7 years. Governor Aliyu Wamako of Sokoto State said this on Monday at Bodinga local government area of the state, where the former governor of the old Sokoto State, Malam Yahaya Abubakar, inaugurated the 7 kilometers Miugoma Bagarawa Salwa Zangla Road. Abdulkarim said the road was crucial to the socio-economic development of the various communities. The road network covers 23 local government areas of the state, costing about 198 million, linking several towns and villages in the area. Wamako promised that all ongoing projects will be completed before the end of May 2015. And in Forex now, the Naira closed at 173.20 kobo against the dollar on Monday, despite the Central Bank of Nigeria's intervention to lift the currency down by 1.21% in trades. The regulator asked lenders to bid for $2 million each in the move to shore up the local currency, but commercial banks avoided the forex auction as the central bank was restricting the resale margin to curb speculation. The Naira closed at 171.10 kobo on Friday. And to market reports now, the equity transactions on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange Monday ended on a positive note. The all-share index appreciated by 0.30% to close at 35,488.80 basis points. Market capitalization increases to close in the same manner as at 11.75 trillion naira in all, a total of 198.85 million units of shares valued at 2.3 billion naira were exchanged in 4,236 deals. Report shows that Nigerian breweries topped the gainer charts, followed by Forte Oil, UACN, PZ, and GlaxoSmithKline. On the downside, Seplat Oil topped the losers chart, followed by Akoma Oil, Dangote Cement, and Florme and UAC Pro. Then why? Here are the top 5 trades. We'll take another break on CoreTV Primetime News. We'll be back with sport and other stories outside Nigeria. Stay with us.
Der Torschütze zum zwischenzeitlichen 1:1. Semenike schickt Musa, da ist Ahmed Musa und da ist der Ausgleich.
It's a beautiful Saturday evening in the city of Lagos.
Off the turn, Phelps had it, but then Matsui kept going.
Finals. 5 to shoot. Leonard does.
Sports is concerned, and of course, making a difference for all of us here from all our production. Thanks for one of that.
And in sport now, despite Super Eagles' 2-0 away victory over Congo last Saturday, which has also brightened Nigeria's chances of qualifying for the 2015 African Cup of Nations to be hosted in Equatorial Guinea, sport analyst has called for coach Stephen Keshi's resignation or an outright sack by the Nigerian Football Federation. Speaking exclusively to CoreTV Sport, Peter Rufai threw his weight behind the former captain, while analysts say Nigeria deserves a better coach with tactical ability.
I feel, unfortunately, that right now what we need is a foreign coach. That is my personal opinion. Thank you. You're welcome.
He's been able to bring smiles to the faces of Nigerians after 19 years winning the African Nations Cup. He's been able to carry the team even with local boys. So I think he deserves giving a contract, and he deserves being a coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria because he is good. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I don't think that Stephen Keshi is the kind of coach that Nigeria needs to take our football, especially at the senior national team level, to the next level. Truth be told,
they don't have control over Stephen Keshi anymore. In fact, Stephen Keshi is the president of the Nigerian Football Federation at this point. So whatever he wants to do, whatever he says, so be it. It's a sad one, but this is Nigeria. These are not normal times. There's really nothing. The NFF cannot say it should continue. The NFF cannot say it can't continue. It's only if Stephen Keshi decides that, okay, I want to walk. I just want to move on. I don't want to continue anymore.
And away from sports now, outside Nigeria, U.S. President Barack Obama has condemned the killing of U.S. aid worker Abdurrahman Kasik as an act of pure evil. The Islamic State ISIS militant group released a video showing a masked man standing over a severed head, which the White House confirmed was Kasik. His parents say he died as a result of his love for the Syrian people. Kasik, 26, was taken while working for a refugee group. He is the fifth Western hostage to be killed by ISIS, which controls parts of Syria and Iraq. This is perhaps the most elaborate and graphic of all the murder videos posted online by ISIS. Much of it is taken up with a recent history lesson on Iraq and Syria as seen through the eyes of the jihadists. But the later part shows the beheading of 18 Syrian prisoners, a revolting, lingering detail amongst the boiler-suited captives murdered in cold blood. Is a man ISIS say is the former U.S. soldier Peter Kasik, who converted to Islam and changed his name to Abdul Rahman. Neither his conversion nor the fact that he was helping refugees when he was captured a year ago appears to have saved him. Kasik's murder is a sign of frustration that ISIS militants are unable to hit back at the coalition airstrikes that have driven them off key sites like the Mosul and Haditha dams and prevented them from seizing the town of Kobani. Just before we go on CoreTV Primetime News tonight, here are some of the stories that made headlines. We told you that Nasarawa State Governor Tankwal Makura has slammed a dusk to dawn curfew on Lafia following unceasing violence in the state capital and its environs. We also reported that the federal government has opted for another extension of emergency rule in Adamawa, Borno and Yobe states. Finally, Governor Ayodele Faji has torn Ekiti lawmakers apart. 7 PDP assembly members among 26 members House sit to confirm commissioners list. That's been the show tonight. On behalf of our entire news crew, I am Franco Malape wishing you a wonderful night rest. Good night.